Morning.
What's going on?
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Is it? Because I'm not getting. I'll only get. That's as much as I can get, and that's what I would be getting. Is that okay?
Should we put you at the top of the tree?
The only thing I'm thinking, if I go too far up, I don't know how good,
How
how clear
top.
it's going to be. It's like
Yeah.
hockey; you can see it, but you
Yeah,
don't see it.
I think that'll be fine. It'll be a question for Terry.
I talked to her, and she said whatever I thought. She said as long as we can see the speaker.
I think it'll be all right. We can go and do some. We can try to back the chairs up, but I think that's good with it.
It's just these last two chairs right here. You don't see.
I'll sit there.
Oh, it actually is showing. Oh. I just don't see it.
sit down here?
On behalf of Mr. Kearns, Mr. Hazelton, the Alexandria Central Administration, our Board of Ed, our whole community, and myself, we would like to thank you all for coming this afternoon to celebrate the dedication of the varsity softball field to Coach Diane Bush. An event like this takes months of planning and a dedicated group of people to take care of every detail. A huge thank you to every person who helped make today a success. Rather than risk leaving someone out, I would just say many thanks to everyone who helped us. Before we start the rest of today's festivities, we would like to ask you to stand if you are able and to remove your hat for the singing of the national anthem by our Alexandria Central Select Choir and some of our ACS alumni. At this time, I'd like to introduce Earl Bustler as our MC for this afternoon.
You know, I had whoa. Hello. Can you hear me up there? All right, good. I had the opportunity, the pleasure to be here as they dedicated the new gym back in the fall. And I thought they learned their lesson at that point, but they decided to invite me back for this. I was surprised. Thank you very much. And it was a pleasure to be here because I made a confession that night, and for those of you that were here for that dedication, I don't know if you remember it or not, but when I mentioned this person's name, I said she was my favorite coach of all time, Diane Bush. You know, it's strange because, I have coaches call all the time with their scores. And, I'll answer the phone and, the coaches will, hey, you. Or they'll start out by saying, why you, they're giving me nice nicknames and stuff like that. When Mrs. Bush always called, she always called me Mr. Bustler. Mr. Bustler. Hello, Mr. Bustler. She was so nice to me. You remember that. And then a few years back, I finally decided to say, call me Mel. And she did. And ever since then, she's been my favorite because she's been a joy to talk to over the years. And it is my pleasure to be here as part of this dedication to a person who deserves a dedication of that field. So congratulations once again. We have a whole bunch of speakers that are going to share their thoughts about Diane. And the first one is Dean Chrisley. And I'm going to go off script for just a second. Because a couple of years back, Dean had the misfortune of teaching me how to ski for a segment that we were doing on the TV station. I was a terrible student. Dean decided at that point he would never teach anybody to ski again. It was sad. But he still decided to show up today for Diane, not for me. Mr. Chrisley taught many junior high and high school level science classes at ACS for 25 years. A high school and college soccer player, Mr. Chrisley became the Lady Girls varsity soccer coach in his first year of teaching here at Alexandria. The next year, Mr. Chrisley became the ladies varsity bowling coach and continued both until his retirement. Mr. Chrisley and the Bush family have been friends for many years, and it is a pleasure to have Dean Chrisley with us this afternoon.
No lies, he was a very good student. They just put him in a bad spot. I looked up dedication, I was interested. And basically it's saying thank you to someone who's something valued to the community. In this case, you've chosen a good person. I was very lucky. I came to ACS in 1980. I was asked to coach girls varsity soccer, and I had no idea what that was going to mean. I was a little nervous. Actually, Diane beat me here. She could have had it. But I lucked out. I was here before she was. And I took on that job, and I loved it. For 25 years, I got to spend a lot of time with a lot of kids in this area, in both, as Nell pointed out, soccer and bowling. And the years of opportunity and experiences that I had with those kids was just outstanding. They were great to work with. Young ladies, which I see today in this day and age when I watch the news, young ladies are getting their due, I guess, recognition. And I learned that after 1 year of coaching. Many years after that, people asked me, they said, hey, would you do boys soccer? And I went, no thanks. I loved what I was doing. I've known Diane since she came here the year after, 2 years after I started here, so we got to know each other very well. I did get to be part of their family as the kids were growing up. And so whenever I needed help, I would ask Diane, and she was always willing to more than happy to help. When I came, all there was the varsity soccer team. Diane followed, and she recognized that there was something she developed those. She actually became the JV coach. And I do believe, if I remember right, Mr. Campany was the modified coach for a couple of years. We were looking for somebody that was just full of fun. Didn't really know much about soccer, but it was a lot of fun. That was Mr. Campany. Diane developed her skills for teaching technique. By the time those kids came to me, I was real lucky because they were already trained in most of the soccer skills that were necessary. And all I had to do was work with getting them to work a little harder. So I thank her for that. Her dedication. We used to laugh with Mr. Bolger and Mr. Folsom. We go, you know you're a good coach when you're bleeding purple. And you'll notice that's what I felt like when I was here. I would like to thank all of those young people. Somebody told me that they're actually streaming this today, so if you're out there watching on TV, thanks for you also. For all those young people that I got to work with, the friendships, in many cases, life friendships that I was able to make with those young people. It was as you get older, like me, roaming the earth with the dinosaurs, you recognize that you're lucky when you have had the opportunity to work with young people for that long, and all you can say is it was great. I hope that the young people that are watching, listening today, I hope that you partake in this school's activities and continue to make the school great. It takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of effort, but I think if you participate, you'll find out that it was worth it. And Diane would be the first person that would identify that that's important. She was so dedicated to the school, I think my calculations were correct. She put in over 40 years of service here. And the amount of hours her family knows. They went, where's Mom? She gonna be home tonight? Who's cooking dinner? She dedicated everything to this community and these young people. If I needed anything as a coach, all I had to do was find Diane and she would figure it out. Wayne Farrell also, between the two of them, we never really went without for our sports programs, and I thank them for that. But Diane was always there for the kids. Her dedication to the kids, developing programs, and I checked the other day just to make sure. She created here a cross-country ski program for PE and a snowshoeing program for PE. Those are things that just, to me, were amazing that she was willing to put in the dedication it would take to create those opportunities for young people in this community. So you were pretty lucky if you were one of those students that had participated in those things. But in general, you couldn't have, for me anyway, be a better dedicated person to this sports program here. And I'm certainly glad that you're dedicated this field. So I thank you. I also would like to say, if there are any players of mine from years past, I do have some books. These are the books that came from the game days that had your name in there, what position you played, your number. If any of you are senior year, I would be more than happy to share those books with you because I'm looking at my age and I'm thinking I'd like to pass them on to someone who would benefit from it. So, but in closing, thank you, Diane, for all the years of service here. Thank you for helping me, and I certainly miss the opportunity we went through. Thank you.
By the way, if we could, Could you folks take the opportunity to give yourselves a hand for being here this afternoon in a large number? Give yourselves a round of applause. They're friends. I'm not sure if it's because you want to be out of the rain or because we're here to honor Diane. I think it's honoring Diane. That's the reason why we're here. Next up, Tasha Hunter Jeffers. Mrs. Jeffers is a 1990 Alexandria graduate and played soccer, basketball, and softball. Mrs. Jeffers received her bachelor's degree in K-6 elementary French from 7 to 9. Can I show off, by the way, my French for a second? Où est Philippe? À la piscine. Avec qui? Avec Diane. Where's Philip? At the pool. With who? With Anne. 2 years of French, that's all I remember. But I wanted to show off anyway. Mrs. Jeffers has been a special education teacher at Alexandria since 1994. Both of Mrs. Jeffers' children, also ACS athletes and graduates. It's nice to have her here. Tasha Hunter Jeffers.
Pretty sure I would do this for anyone we do. Okay. I'm honored to be here today to share my thoughts as we dedicate the softball field to one of the most influential people in my life, Coach Diane. Since 5th grade, she's been my PE teacher, my coach, my colleague, my friend, my role model, and my hero. Her guidance, support, and love have shaped my life in so many ways. I love to share just a few of the things I learned from her. I learned to problem solve during my modified basketball years. There were lots of problems to be solved for an inexperienced 4'11" junior high student who learned to play with men's basketballs because women's basketballs didn't exist. I learned to be more responsible when my contributions to the I Forgot My Language Foundation Fund paid for our junior varsity soccer party. I learned the value of careful planning when our varsity softball team went to an away game without bats. As we ran bases the next day, Coach Bush gave us lots of time to think about it. I learned to love super cool cars during our many rides home together. I also learned to improve my driving skills after adding a few dents to some of those cars. Sorry. I learned the importance of good medical care when Coach Bush taped my ankles with precision and care. She used pre-wrap and nicely cut strips of tape. I'm not gonna lie, I hid from Coach Holter. When it was time to tape, his taping technique wasn't quite so meticulous. Put it on the finger. I learned how to make my own students feel special and loved. I'm a better teacher because of her. She made homemade Christmas cookies and birthday cakes. She individualized bags of sweet tarts so that Jake and I each had our favorite flavors. She shared a special 4-leaf clover that gave me luck when I needed it. And her hugs. For those of you who have experienced a Coach Bush hug, you know what it means to feel special and loved. Coach Bush taught me to believe and persevere. Her famous words, any team can beat any other team on any given day, have remained with me beyond sports. This mantra continues to guide me, reminding me to approach challenges with confidence and determination. Throughout our lives, we meet individuals who leave a lasting impression on our hearts. For me, Coach Bush is one of those special people. She's a source of inspiration and truly my hero. Today, we honor her by dedicating and naming our softball field after her. Congratulations, Coach Bush, and thank you for being the extraordinary person you are.
Up next is Jade Tucker. Where's Jade? Right there. I had met Jade in the cafeteria there. Well, nice little get together they had. And I always like this when somebody says it to me. I watched you growing up. Thank you very much, Jade. Appreciate it. I guess you can call me Mr. Hustler, Diane. Miss Tucker, a 1990 graduate of Alexandria, played soccer, basketball, and softball. She was voted most athletic her senior year. We have something in common. That worked out great. Miss Tucker is a second grade teacher in North Carolina, where she has taught for 27 years. Ms. Tucker graduated from SUNY Potsdam for both her undergraduate and master's in elementary education. Ladies and gentlemen, Jade Tucker.
I'm going to cry, so just get ready. Ladies and gentlemen, guests, most importantly, my dear friend, Coach Diane. Today I stand in front of you with a heartfelt gratitude and admiration as I dedicate this speech to a remarkable individual who has left an enduring mark on my life. My coach, my teacher, my mentor, and my friend. I'm trying, Joe. I, too, first met Coach in the good old gym of ACS back in 5th grade. Little did I know then that this encounter would shape the course of my life in ways I could never imagine. From the moment she stepped into ACS, her passion for sports sparked a fire within me. I remember vividly wanting to be just like Coach, to teach, to coach, even have dream checkers in her life, just like she does. This dream became a reality as I'm a veteran teacher of 27 years, living with 3 beloved dogs, 2 which are dream shepherds, and tattooed on me. Okay, Coach Bush's influences didn't end on the field. It spilled into every aspect of my life. Before I could lace up my own court, please, I found myself immersed in the world of soccer as a JV team manager and ball girl. It was her unwavering belief in my potential to propel me forward. Under her guidance, I learned not only the physical skills of being a goalkeeper, but also the science behind it. Understanding angles, reading the field, and most importantly, leadership and communication with my teammates. Coach Bush's influence extended beyond the gym and field. Despite excelling at shortstop in softball, she let me pitch. She was teaching me discipline, dedication, the importance of perseverance. She believed in anyone that she put her hands on. Her belief in my dedication and desire to improve me, to drive me to pursue higher education, where I played soccer at SUNY Potsdam and earned both my undergrad and master's in education. Reflecting on our journey together, memories flood my mind. Countless visits to her office, achieving milestones on the field, a deep bond forged between us. I remember the day after Tasha and I graduated with the help of our parents. We got a bottle of champagne, 2 lobsters, and we told Joe and Coach it was time for them to finally start having kids. And they did. 2 wonderful daughters. Even after I moved away, our connection remained steadfast, marked by annual summer visits, exchanging holiday cards, phone calls, text messages. Recently, my principal asked our staff, why did you become a teacher? Who was that person that inspired you? My answer was clear. It was Coach Diane Bush. Her support, her enthusiasm, and her care not only shaped my career, but left an enriched my life beyond measure. Coach, as I stand here today, I am filled with gratitude for your countless ways that you've touched my life. Your guidance, your encouragement, and your friendship has been a beacon of light guiding me through my triumphs and my challenges. You are an inspiration, loving, and lifelong friend. Thank you for being a guiding force in my journey. I love you, Coach.
By the way, I'm glad you warned us that you were going to cry. I didn't know it would start after ladies and gentlemen. Surprised me a little bit there. Thanks for coming out. That's pretty impressive. She came all the way up here. One of the greatest basketball players to come out of Canada. I mention this because Mike Roberts, I think, played with him on the same team. I'll let that sink in for a second. Okay, hopefully, tough crowd. Mr. Mike Roberts has been a coach for 21 years and also a basketball ref, too. Mr. Roberts coached softball at Alexandria from 2018 to 2023. Physical education teacher in Morristown. His eldest daughter was a phys ed teacher here at Alexandria in 2020. Is that right? Excellent. Mr. Roberts' youngest daughter graduated from Alexandria last June and is pursuing a degree in physical education. Mr. Roberts has been a friend of Diane's for 10 years, and on a personal note, I'd like to say he's my second favorite softball teacher ever to come out of Alexandria. I'll let that sink in for another second. Mike Roberts, ladies and gentlemen.
Still hasn't sunk in. Like Mel said, 10 years of knowing Diane. She saw something in me to start the softball program here in the Bay. She had a vision. She had expectations. And listening to all the stories, expectations you live up to. And we did here for softball for Diane. We put a banner on the wall last year for her. I don't see it. But I'm honored to be here today in dedication to softball field for Diane. We gather here and honor and celebrate a legacy of a remarkable individual who has left a lasting impression on our lives, a former coach, PE teacher here at ACS, Diane Bush. We're not only dedicating the softball field in Coach Bush's honor, but also paying great respect to countless lives she has touched with unwavering dedication and passion. Coach Bush is more than just a coach. She's a mentor, a motivator, and most importantly, a friend. With boundless enthusiasm and heartfelt of encouragement, Coach Bush instilled in everyone she has came in contact with values of teamwork, perseverance, and sportsmanship. Through early morning practices, grueling drills, triumphant victories, she taught everybody the importance of hard work, discipline, and resilience. Lessons that extend far beyond the confines of a softball field here at ACS. Beyond the wins and losses, Coach Bush fostered an environment where every player felt valued, supported, and empowered to reach their full potential. Whether it was offering words of encouragement after a tough game or providing guidance through life's challenges, Coach Bush was there. As we dedicate the softball field to Coach Bush, let us remember not only the victories won on this field, but also the inevitable lessons learned under her guidance. Let this field serve as a lasting testament to Coach Bush's endeavoring impact on lives and the profound influence she has had on shaping and mentoring both coaches and players into the individuals we are today. Though Coach Bush is no longer a PE teacher Or coach here at ACS, she has had lasting impacts in ways individuals have played the game, in bounds and camaraderies they have shared, lifelong memories she has created on the softball field, as well as values she's instilled in everybody and continuing to inspire others on the softball field, just like she did throughout her career here at ACS. We dedicate the softball field to honor Coach Bush. Let us do so with hearts full of gratitude, respect, and love. May this field stand as a testament to Coach Bush's enduring legacy, reminding us always of the profound impact one person can have on lives of many through the sport of softball. Thank you.
And by the way, you're actually my favorite basketball player, Diane. I just want to clarify that. Casey Lingenfelter Folger. Mrs. Folger, 2008 Alexandria graduate. She was a dedicated three-sport athlete playing soccer, basketball, and softball. Something that we both have in common, Mrs. Folger and myself both have a Master Yoga certification. So that works out great. She trumps it though by being a licensed real estate agent. Casey Lingenfelter Folger.
Good afternoon. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Casey Forger, and I was lucky enough to be coached and mentored by Diane here at Alexandria Central School. We are here today to dedicate the new softball field to an exceptionally deserving, strong, and caring woman. I was honored when Terry Lowe had reached out to ask if I would say a few words for the ceremony today. I have to be honest, there are so many incredible attributes and stories I can say about Mrs. Bush. It was difficult to find a direction and where to go when speaking in regards to such a great and selfless individual. Diane has had an outstanding impact on my life, as well as many others, through the art of coaching and the game of softball. Many lessons she taught me on the field I've carried off and used them regularly throughout my adult life. My sophomore year at ACS, Mrs. Bush had come up with what I now see as a mantra. A mantra is a word or words that you repeat to help aid concentration. They are extremely powerful when paired with goal setting and developing a mindset. The phrase that pumped our team up and carried us through the season was dedication, determination, desire. I Googled the definitions of these three words to try and have a clear understanding of such an influential mantra. So let's break it down. Dedication. A feeling of very strong support for or loyalty to someone or something. Mrs. Bush was dedicated to the athletic programs here at ACS with a passionate focus and love for the game of softball. We all have off days. Coach Bush never did. And if she did, she never let us see it. She was absolutely dedicated to giving her team everything she could to equip them with the skills, tools, and occasional tough love to guide them to success. Mrs. Bush, thank you for your dedication. Dedication, determination, desire. Determination. Firm or fixed intention to achieve a desired end. This woman's determination to improve on and enhance her team and everything that went into the softball program was truly remarkable. She fought for and celebrated every small victory, whether it was a newly researched drill, updated training gear, fresh jerseys, or a deanery softball bat. Coach Bush worked her butt off to make those luxuries happen for us. Diane was determined to give her Lady Ghost the best she could offer and brought us joy and energy that translated onto the field and into our game. Mrs. Bush, thank you for your determination. Dedication, determination, desire. Desire. A strong feeling of wanting to have something or wish for something to happen. Mrs. Bush also had a passion for the presentation of our home field. You know that saying, you work with what you have? Well, she did just that, and made sure that it was the best it could possibly be every time we stepped onto it. There were many mornings that she was out there at the break of dawn, checking conditions on game day, and figuring out remedies for our field to host our opponents. During my time at ACS, many conversations were had as we were setting up or breaking down, where she would envision a field with dugouts, a smooth dirt infield, school logos, and a scoreboard. Diane had a desire for the home softball field of the Purple Ghost to be a playable, presentable, and eventually upgraded facility throughout her entire career here at ACS. Mrs. Bush, thank you for your desire. So back to the mantra: dedication, determination, desire. Fast forward to my senior year, my last season playing softball for Coach Bush at ACS. I was a pitcher for the Purple Ghosts and dedicated a lot of time and energy to being the best I could be at the craft. Mrs. Bush had always kept me on track, and she had let me know that I was in range for breaking records that year. I'll never forget, there was one day I came into the locker room after school to get ready for practice, and Mrs. Bush was so excited to see me. She's like, "Case, I gotta tell you something." I'm like, "Okay, what?" She goes, "I just thought of it. Dedication, determination, desire. All of that leads up to your destiny." That year, I think I broke 3 separate strikeout records for ACS and left a little legacy and a big piece of my heart at my alma mater. So we add to the original mantra: dedication, determination, desire, and destiny. What's the definition of destiny? Destiny, the event that will necessarily happen to a particular person or thing in the future. Often, sometimes in goal setting, we envision the goal before it's happened. As we continue to work for and strive towards that goal, there are moments when you witness your dreams come to life and you get to see the quote-unquote magic happen. I say magic in quotations because I believe those milestone moments are nothing like magic. They didn't appear out of thin air. They aren't an illusion or a quick trick. Those moments are days, weeks, months, years, and sometimes decades of hard work, confidence, grit, and an occasional bit of luck, all orchestrated together into its masterpiece. Through this woman's dedication, determination, and desire, it has all led up to this destiny. Mrs. Bush, you are loved more than you know. Without your spirit, support, and guidance, you would not be here today. From our former, present, and future student athletes in the community of ACS, thank you, we love you, and God bless.
Patty Wagner. She couldn't be here physically today because a grandchild is having their first birthday. So at least you know where you are in the pecking order. You're number 2 on that list. All right. Mrs. Wagner's involvement at Alexandria spans 30 plus years. She was hired in 1987 as a school counselor. Mrs. Wagner retired in 2021 after 34 years at ACS. All 3 of her children attended ACS, 2 of whom played for Coach Bush in soccer and softball. And through the miracle of modern technology and Mr. Kearns, we will be able to hear her voice.
Hello, Coach Bush, your family, Joe, Mackenzie, and Jordy, and to all of you who are there to celebrate the dedication of the ACS softball field in honor of Coach Diane Bush. My perspective of Coach Bush and her career at ACS comes from my experiences of knowing her in 3 distinct ways: as a colleague, as a parent, and ultimately as a friend. As a colleague, Diane and I worked together at Alexandria for over 30 years. My office was at the top of the steps by the gym, so we had many opportunities to chat and solve the problems of the world. As a parent, Diane was a physical education instructor for all 3 of my kids. She was also two of them, and I came to know her well during those years. As a friend, as we got to know each other through the years, we began to support and trust each other through difficult times with our parents, occasionally with our kids, but no joke, we never discussed husbands. I met Coach Bush when I came to ACS for a school counseling internship in 1987. I still remember walking down the lower halls of the elementary and hearing this booming and bellowing voice coming from the gymnasium. She taught at that time with Bud Bolger and Bobby Colson, so you may think it was one of their voices. Not so. I still remember being a bit afraid to open the gym doors. She was loud, but she was very controlled, always giving specific directions to the students and athletes. As I got to know her better, I realized that yes, Coach Bush was tough, but she was also very kind and very encouraging, a combination that made her a great coach and mentor to many student athletes. The past few weeks, I've been writing down some thoughts and ideas and stories, things that I might want to share today. I pulled it out today, and a random sheet of paper was on the desk. It had just 7 words on it, and as I read it, it seemed to me to be a perfect description of Coach Bush, but I had no clue where this paper came from. Later, I remembered that I had seen it online a while back and copied it. It was a mission statement for a highly successful company. It had intrigued me that the company attributed their great success to 5 simple ideals, written in just 7 words. Respect for tradition, integrity, hard work, simplicity, and pride. This came from a company that is a large beer brewing corporation. Now, Coach, I don't even know if you like beer, but I'm going to use a beer company's mission statement to honor you now. This is my version of Diane Bush's coaching mission statement. Number 1, respect for tradition. I always admired how Coach encouraged her athletes consistently to respect their parents. Also, to respect their opponents, the coaches, officials, and teammates. Respect the work of those players who played the game before you. Family first, always. Number 2, integrity. Coach Bush is one of the rare ones who doesn't criticize others. Not her players, not her administrators, not her colleagues, not her friends. Did she critique her teams and players? You betcha. But did she criticize them? No. Number 3, hard work. If you know Coach Bush, this is a no-brainer. Coach always sets high expectations for her players and students, but she sets even higher expectations for herself. As a coach, she invested incredible amounts of time in her teams and players. By doing so, she helped to develop hundreds of young athletes into strong and positive citizens in our community. Number 4, simplicity. Coach Bush's coaching mission was really simple. Be responsible for yourself and your behaviors. Be respectful. Be focused. Be a team player. That's what makes a winner, not just in sporting contests, but in life. And number 5, pride. Coach was often excited and proud of her teams. She strived to make her athletes the best they could be. She would encourage and honor individual accomplishments, but always focused on team. And she expected her players to do the same. There was no blaming any one player for anything. I expect that if we could sneak a vial of Coach Bush's blood right now, it would be Purple Ghost Purple. Coach knew I was going to Pennsylvania this weekend to celebrate my grandbaby's birthdays, and I would not be here today. When I visited with her last weekend, I apologized for not being able to attend. She said in her coaching voice to me, "Patty, I would be disappointed if you stayed here." Just reminding me, family first, always. She's more than an athletic coach. She's a life coach. I mentioned that Coach Bush had coached 2 of my kids through the varsity level and had a profound influence in both of their lives. However, it's our other son who clearly defined Coach Bush last night. I was saying that I thought that sometimes people misunderstood Coach with her strong nature and booming voice. And Austin, now 34, said, "Mom, people who hold others to a high standard often seem tough, but they do it because they care and they want what's best for them." That's you, Coach Bush. The dedication of the softball field in honor of Coach Diane Bush is so very deserving, and I am honored to have been given the opportunity to share some of my thoughts. Thank you, Coach Bush, for your dedication to our students and our school. You have been an amazing leader and have had an amazing impact on so many of us. So, from a brewmaster to a master coach, thank you, Coach. Congratulations and cheers.
Special thanks to Mr. Kearns. He get you a part-time job at the TV station. That was excellent. Very good. Jordan Bush. Anytime I would hear that name and wanted to say hi to her, I would hang out at her favorite place, Frosty's Ice Cream in Watertown, and wait until she showed up with Father Joe. And you didn't disappoint me. Jordan Bush is a 2012 Alexandria graduate, has it been that long? Wow. Jordan was a 3-sport athlete throughout her high school career, playing soccer, basketball, and softball. She graduated from Rockport, a Golden Eagle, no less. Wow. Her undergraduate degree in athletic training and kinesiology. Jordan received her master's degree from the University of Florida in applied physiology and kinesiology with a concentration in athletic training. Jordan currently works at Lincoln High School in Tallahassee, Florida. You're a Gator, and you live in Seminole country. You probably don't get along with those people too well, do you? She's a phys ed teacher there, a head athletic trainer, assistant athletic director, along with several other duties, and was always a joy to interview anytime I had a chance to do so. Jordan Bush.
Okay, so all of you know my mom in some capacity, or we wouldn't be here. So you know that she's famous for some of the longest award ceremony speeches on the record. I think the longest was 21 minutes, perhaps. We used to time them. But I have practice from my sister's wedding where I had a time cap of 2 minutes, or I would be pulled off the floor from talking. So I'm going to keep it somewhere in the middle for y'all. My best friend Lauren also told me that I cannot cry because I am an ugly crier to hold it together, so I will do my best. But no promises, I might end up in jail. Going to go a little off script with my thing, partially because of something that Casey said. So I showed Casey my jersey, and she said, "You blank, that's our jersey." And it is our jersey. It's a replica. It is not one of the ones that was the team's, because if you're a coach, you know my mom took inventory, and you had to pay for every jersey that was not there. And I'm sure Hazleton can tell you that you probably had to pay for at least 10 hot jerseys. So, back to what Casey was saying, I think it's so funny that dedication, determination, desire, destiny, because I quite literally have it tattooed on my ankle. And it was, I asked for it for my 18th birthday, and my mom said yes. And that was the only way I could get a tattoo. And she went with me as I cried when I got it. But Casey and I, because I like to say it's both of our records, because Casey held the record for strikeouts first, but I wouldn't have my record without her and my mom. But this is our jersey. I'm so glad I got to wear it. Casey, I'll let you borrow it sometime. I was a fairly decorated athlete at ACS. I almost said Lincoln. Oh my goodness, I'm so used to being teaching. And at the time, I was so concentrated on what my legacy would be and what mark I would leave on the school. And I didn't think about the fact that my mom was leaving such a legacy and what she was doing. Oh, okay. I was that selfish teenager at the time. She is respected and a true competitor. And when I say true competitor, I can speak from my childhood. This woman literally threw a board game across the room because she lost. And this is no joke. She literally did this. But she took every loss to heart, and it was all hers. She would always say, every loss is on me. And you didn't want to ride home with her. Mackenzie and I always made sure we rode home with Dad those days when there was a loss. But every win was the team. She never took that as herself. That was the team's win, not her win. As far as being respected, every opponent knew when you saw Alexandria Central walk up to your softball field, or you came here, you were either getting your butt whooped or you were going to be in for a dogfight. They respected her so much so that the other teams actually started to call her Mama B. I got my sense of being a true competitor from her as well. And I think of the time where I got detention, which I was a fairly good kid in school. And only one person ever gave me detention, and it was my mother. We were in PE class, mind you, playing wiffle ball, and she called me out, and I was safe. I was safe. And I said, Mom, you don't know your butt from a hole in the ground. And she said, get out. That's the only time I ever had detention. But I would have that true competitiveness from you, Mom. That was your fault. She is a mom to everyone. I can speak for this because she is my mom. She treated everyone like they were her own child. Sometimes better than we did. Because we got the brunt of when things went bad. But as far as being a mom, she knew our favorite snacks. She knew your favorite donut, and everyone remembers donuts on Saturday practice. And she'd have the backup ready just in case they were out of your favorite. Senior dinners, when it was our last game after the senior game, she always took us to Olive Garden. That was the best. But she was truly a mom to everybody. She's not only my mom, but she's my former coach. And I model so much what I do in life after her. I'm so proud to call her my mother, my former coach, and she is truly my best friend. And no one deserves this more than her. Thank you so much for being here today.
Mackenzie Bush Kurtz. And the question I have for Diane and Joe, why wasn't I invited to the wedding? website, but still, it counts. Mackenzie is a 2010 Alexandria graduate. Mackenzie, a three-sport athlete in high school, playing soccer, basketball, and softball. Mackenzie is a certified and registered dental assistant. I'd like you to take a look at something later on. She completed her accreditation program at Monroe Community College in 2013. Ladies and gentlemen, Mackenzie Bush Kurtz.
So after that, I was also holding, and I was like, gotcha. I guess I'd like to start off by saying it's really amazing to see the number of people in attendance today with the dark and gloomy rain and doom outside, that you all still made the effort to come in today. For my mom. With that being said, and as my sister already stated, I did give everybody a limit for my wedding for their speeches, mainly because of my mother. She had 3 minutes. So I'm going to challenge myself to do the same. I know my sister and others have already discussed why the many reasons my mother has created such a legacy here at ACS. But I would like to talk about all the small things I saw growing up that truly shows her going above and beyond. First off, the fundraising. If she wasn't the one organizing the event, she was working them. There were countless spaghetti dinners, car washes, big sales of popcorn and water sales during the summers. These events' proceeds went to support everything from the Booster Club to families who had fallen on hard times. I'm trying to keep moving up. Okay. To even giving her teams opportunities to create lasting memories. So, and opportunities to go places like catching a game at SU, or even going to see the baseball and soccer Hall of Fames, and countless others that are coming to my mind at the moment. Next up, creating opportunities. For the younger students, she would create the workshops to introduce them to the sports and the basics and fundamentals of sports like soccer and softball. For her older athletes, she put together teams for summer leagues so they could stay
All right, Diane, I'm doing double duty today because I'm also the photographer here. But we've come to this point in the ceremony where we're going to have the Bush family get up, walk over. Oh, you're going to bring it to me? Oh, that's nice. Look at the size of those scissors. I'm going to have to change my angle because there is a ribbon cutting involved too. So if you folks could kindly get up. I would like to thank the following for their role in this endeavor. First and foremost, my immediate family for your overwhelming love and support. For my extended family, who is also here today in my support. I would like to thank our administrators, Mr. Carter, Mr. Fountain, and Mrs. Morgan. Thank you to our Board of Education members and our athletic committee. Thank you to our athletic coordinators, both our past coordinator, Ms. Lowell, and our present coordinators, Mr. Hazleton and Mr. Kearns. I know that this is not a small undertaking and involved many hours of work. Thank you to our athletic booster club, in particular Kelly Davidson, Marvin. And please do all you can to support that group. They are instrumental in supporting our athletic programs. Thank you to the students, athletes, and your parents that I was involved with over the years for your unwavering support. You made my job easy. Thank you to all my colleagues, both past and present, for making ACS feel like home. Thank you to everyone who spoke today on my behalf. You are without a doubt the VIPs in my life, and I will cherish your friendships forever. I would like to conclude with just a few parting thoughts that I often share with my student athletes. First of all, as Casey mentioned, throughout your life, your determination, your dedication, and your desire will always lead you to your destiny. Secondly, the numbers, the wins, the cheers will often fade as time passes, but it is the personal relationships that you develop that will last forever and should be always cherished. It has truly been my pleasure to be a part of the ACS coaching staff and faculty, and
Diane. I am both honored and humbled by this amazing dedication. Thank you, everyone.